the burden, right? It
Right.
went to, and instead of, if you're in a leadership role,
Mm-hmm.
it comes with the good and the bad and the ugly, right?
Of course.
So you have to be able to say, what's the real problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not whose fault is it?
Right. I get you.
That's something that the people who have a problem passing test, parents, that's what they doing. They point fingers because they
Right.
don't have the necessary skills, resources, or the proper education to figure out the problem, right? That's why they
Okay.
pay people more money. More money come more responsibilities, right?
Okay.
And it falls on you. So we're not concerned about whose fault is it, right? The
Right. Not
problem
concerned.
is that everybody should be concerned about one mission.
Mm-hmm.
How do we fix it?
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you before, everything that I do, everything I say about problems, in order to fix it, somebody got to name it.
Mm-hmm.
The truth got to be talked about first. Because
Absolutely.
if you dance around the truth, then you'll blow away the solution, right? You
Mm-hmm.
cannot have a solution to a problem if you don't know the problem. If you're afraid to say it, and listen, the numbers are evident. Um, you know, people say, well, numbers can be misleading or they miscued. They can, but they're not that off.
They're
You
not that
can't be
off.
off. You can't be that off, right? Can't be
They're
that
not that
off,
off.
right?
Right. Right.
When
Right.
you first of all, somebody will be fired tomorrow if they were that far off or these numbers wasn't accurate reporting.
Well, here's my thing. Somebody should be fired regardless because of the numbers and the metrics. Because in any other occupation, and this should be included in education as well. In any other occupation, you have what you call metrics. You have certain goals that you have to meet, and if you don't meet those goals, you're going to get your verbal warning. You may get a written warning a couple of times, and then after that written warning, you'll get fired. So, if we have an education system here in this city in Roanoke, Virginia,
Yeah.
that is failing its black students, and like I said, numbers scream. We can't deny the numbers. This is what they are. Now, I'm not saying that the people that are in the school systems, as far as educators, teachers, and things like that, I'm not saying that they aren't doing the best that they can possibly do to provide a great education for our kids. I'm not saying that, because there are great teachers out here, there are great principals out here, there are great counselors, there are great people out here trying to educate our kids. So we do understand that. But when you do look at those numbers and you see the test scores and you look at the black race and how it competes against every other race, and we are failing and behind Latino kids who are the offspring of non-speaking migrants. How are black kids being outperformed? American, United States born citizen black kids, how are they being outperformed by Latino kids whose parents are first generation non-English speaking parents? How is that happening? And we have to ask ourselves that question. I mean, it's a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation that does need to be addressed. And like I said, we throw money at this shit. That's all we do. We throw money at everything. I think I want to say Baltimore, Maryland has like the highest cost per student, and they have the lowest test scores in America. You know what I'm saying? So obviously money isn't the problem. Obviously, can't be. Because when you talk to these educators and you talk to these people about this problem, they say, well, the problem's starting at home. Okay, let's put a pin in that. The problem is starting at home. Okay, how do we fix home? What does home need to look like for our kids to learn in a calm, peaceful environment to where we're not being outperformed by every damn race in America? Because at this point, it looks pathetic. How do you suggest we fix that problem, Eugene?
I think you gotta name it, man. I think people can't be afraid to understand that um, that you need help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, some parents on autopilot, man. I mean, it's
What do you mean by that? Break that down. You said some parents are on autopilot. What do you mean by that?
so, I, my kids had and I'm not using myself as an example, but just to give you an
Mm-hmm.
example.
Okay.
My kids had exams this week, finals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That night, the study guys might be around. Study guys were out
Mm-hmm.
at the table. I'm not gonna hold no cap. Lunch boxes is out beside the table. Laptop
Mm-hmm.
is out on the table.
Right.
Preparation is being done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're preparing to pass and dominate the SOS exams.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna study. We're gonna take what we learn. I'm gonna have flashcards. I have flashcards for them. Their mom is a 23-year educator, so the ability to how to teach and how to learn, kind of a cheat code for us.
Mm-hmm.
But the first part is the effort,
Okay.
right? And autopilot looks like, all right, y'all got exams this week, and it ends. So let's just say a child, they're not going to choose the hard route every situation. They're not going to stop doing fun things to stop and say, I'm going to study and get my Chromebook out myself. They might not have the self-initiative to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to parent. Sometimes as parents, we choose the wrong things to compete with. We choose the wrong things to have pride about, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have pride about everything that we have. Sometimes we have pride. Sometimes we have pride about things that don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It only matters to you, right?
Okay.
But outside of your house, it don't matter, right?
Okay.
So I would say that this is a joint effort. Whenever you are down 27%, right, and it takes me back. Let's stop for a second. I know it's a movie, but lean on me.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Break it
I
down.
know it's 27%. Actually,
Might have been.
all right.
Might have been.
But he showed you. They showed you the steps it took, right? He went to the lady's home. He said, "We're not going to help her. We're going to help you find a job, because that's where the foundation starts for you to be properly be able to be taught. You got to be in a mindset to be taught, right? So then teachers got to care. He called him in a what you call him. Are you doing extra? No. So that means you're on autopilot then. So nothing's going to be fixed. It's the definition of insanity. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So something has to change effort-wise. He also attacked the people downtown, town hall meetings. He approached them and told them, y'all don't care about the kids, you only care about the titles. So it's a 3-tier program that he put in place. Yes, it's a movie, but it's how you solve problems.
Okay.
Because everybody, when scores are that low, it's not a one-person problem.
It's not a one-person problem.
No, sir. Not that low.
Right.
If I tell you, I'm going to give you kids that majority of their parents are going to do the prep work at nighttime, the feeding them a good meal in the morning. Your kids didn't feel like SOS, Kevin.
Let's hold on real quick. Let's say what's up to Melanie. How you doing, Melanie? And
Melanie, how you doing?
Yeah, just want to let you guys know that we're here and we're seeing your comments. So we'll definitely be speaking up. And what we're talking about right now is we're talking about mentorship, and we're also talking about some of these low test scores we're seeing nationwide, not just Roanoke City-wide, but nationwide, and how maybe we can maybe address these problems. So kind of just sit back and chill. And like I said, we're definitely going to react to your comments here. Go ahead and say what you're saying. Eugene, continue where you're going with that.
So it's a 3-tier. Everybody got their hands on it, right? When I told you earlier about certain things that happen in neighborhoods or whatever, listen, everybody got their hand on this problem, right? Everybody's hands to be in the same pot to fix it, right? Here's the problem. Some people are shut down for so long, now the numbers are speaking to that shutdown.
Right.
That's a generation. That's a generation something happened. Because it's not because of me, because I know people, will say, well, whatever we say tonight, somebody will say something different tomorrow because they feel like they have a better answer, right? And that's fine, right? That's why we need to have a dialogue with. That's a 3-tier problem, so everybody can talk about the problem. And you got strategists and people who come in who solve problems, maybe outside consultants. You don't have to go out of town and get it. You got people who come from other businesses and step in bilateral, and I'm gonna problem solve this. I'm gonna have a person come in who's a perfectionist in education. We're gonna have to do this. How are we learning? What instructional specialists are we having? What have we? First of all, have the people that need help with disabilities Are they being taken care of?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to school afraid to get labeled with a learning disability and fight through something that's not real standard to them because they don't have the thinking process to go through it normally? It's so many things, so many layers we can go through, man. But I just think that first of all, it's possible because it can't. I won't say it can't go any further down because it can, but hopefully it never does. But you got to be able to move needles somewhere. The 27 got to go at least 31, 32. But it's going to take a lot of people to do it, not just one.
Okay, I got you. So when we say that, like I said, a lot of educators are saying that, it starts at home. It starts at home, and we keep hearing that, and it's nothing wrong with them saying that, right? It's nothing wrong with a educator saying, well, we're having problems with these students because at the end of the day, it's starting at home. We can't get these kids to focus. They're getting into all kinds of crazy stuff in these classrooms, and we just can't, get a lid on it or whatever. But like I said, we're throwing money at this problem. Are we throwing money at the wrong problem is the question. We're throwing money at the school system, but I mean, are we supposed to be throwing money at the school system, or are we supposed to be throwing money inside these homes? Which one should we be doing? I know that the school system needs a percentage, definitely, but should we take a little bit of percentage out of that and help out home? Because that's what everyone's saying. Everyone's saying that that's where it's starting. That's where the problem is starting, right? Anthony Smith, he just spoke, and he said the Black community in Roanoke is the victim of the biggest, most vicious socioeconomic war in the country. Let me repeat that. Anthony Smith said the Black community in Roanoke is the victim of the biggest, most vicious socioeconomic war in the country's history. Facts.
No doubt.
Facts.
No doubt.
Definitely cannot disagree with that. So what do you think? What do you think on this subject matter? Should more money be pushed towards educating parents about the importance of, like you said, preparation for SOL or preparation for a test or exam? Should that be something that we should be pushing for? What do you think about that?
But first of all, shout out to Anthony. Is right. That's a right. See, here's the way I think, right, or the way I think that we can move in the right direction. Anthony's right. That the teachers are right. You're right. The parents are right. You say that they say it started at home. They right. We were victim of social. He's right. Right, and you say more money should be thrown in different places. You're right. So I think that again, we can't finger point us as one problem because we're going to have to deal with some variables, right? We're going to have to deal with some negative variables. We're going to have to deal with it, and we've always overcame with unforeseen circumstances. We just have, and it ain't the easiest, man. It's not, but we have to do what we can control on our end to force the people that can help us. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what I'm showing here, right here, and if there are any educators or any principals that are currently watching this, I'm not here to pick on you. We're just here to inform the people of what we're seeing. And this is one of the reports. This is the English Reading Performance Report 2022 through 2025. If you look at the Black proficiency here, right, and you look at pass fail, right, this is the Black one right here. Let me see if I can highlight this. Well, it's highlighting everything, but anyway, this is the Black one right here. Okay, so you got proficient 38, passed 38, failed 62. Okay, so in this case right here, the Latinos or the Hispanic community have 37 passed and 63 failed. The white is at 50-50. So even though that's still low, it's still higher than the Black and Hispanic. So the achievement gap is not closing, although we're throwing money at this problem. You understand what I'm saying? And I can show you some reports that are even worse than that are way worse than that. You know what I'm saying? And it's concerning to see. It's really concerning to see. We're talking about, college professors coming forward and coming out saying, hey, we got to go back to remedial math or, basic math because these kids are coming in college without knowing basic math. You have
college professors in Harvard, Princeton, that say that they have students that have never read a full-length novel. This is the reality in America now. So that's a huge problem, bro. That's definitely a huge problem, man.
Absolutely, it is. The way things happen with AI, social medias, apps, diversions for children, diversions for parents. It doesn't help in the process. It doesn't. I can remember in math, right? I can remember having Coach Pay for math. Shout out to Bro Pay, first of all. But he was always, if you had Burrow's Pays, if you had Burrow Pay's class, he always told us that formulas don't change, numbers do, right? So if you get the formula down, the numbers can change all day. It won't matter as long as you understand the concept, right? And math is a show your work skill, right? Because in order to show your work, you're really building a formula, right? Because it's gonna look the same. If I got 5 problems with the same concept, if I look on the right hand side, I have to use the same formula to get the same answer. The numbers might be different, but the formula will. You got to understand the concepts. So are they being taught concepts? Are they being taught how to learn? Are they being taught that bridge the gap between their home life and school life? Like I'm not just talking about one color. I'm talking about the youth period, right? Like I said, I'm in the private sector. My kids my son go to the private sector, and I can tell you, man, that problem is there too. Now it's hidden more because they got more money to hide it, right?
Right, of course.
Okay, and they got smaller, so you won't see a big dip in numbers because they don't have the big numbers to have that big gouge, right? So they might say you might see 90%, but in public school that might be 60, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I think that there is a lot of things we can do from conception to execution, right? We can't catch it in the middle because it's not there because somebody got to pull blame from it. Listen, the numbers are bad. The numbers are bad.
Absolutely.
So now at this point, it's not a point that nobody picking on us, right, or picking on a certain community. It's real. So now you can name it, right? We got a real problem. So now, how do you fix real problems?
Okay.
Right. You get a proper team in place, right? You get a proper people in place. You got to pay for it, right? You got to pay for it because these are people who strategists and Anthony Smith. You've been in business for a long time, man. If Anthony was going through business right now and something happened and he can't figure it out, right? It's not that he's that smart, right? Man, I'm losing. Damn, man. Hey, let me call this guy in, man. He specializes in that because we spend money to get the best people to solve the biggest problems to make the most money.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to education, sometimes we falter because it involves the feelings because we involve parents. So it involves people who may be in position that don't really care about the kids that come to their school.
Right.
So there's so many ways that it can be derailed. But I think that coming together, having the same agenda in the same room, building a task force. We got a task force for everything else.
Okay.
We got a task force for everything else, right? So if you got a task force for everything else, use it and utilize that process.
All right. Anthony Smith said you must stabilize before you can mobilize. Then we have to agree to stop doing what's hurting us. Immigrants didn't come to learn. They came to work. We need to work. The men need to take their ass to work for ourselves. Okay. I agree with that. Definitely. I mean, I definitely agree with that. No doubt. I'm going to show another statistic right here for the people. And like I said, anybody watching this that's in Roanoke City and you're a principal or anything like that, or a teacher or educator, this isn't coming out here blaming you for these issues. This is just simply saying that, okay, we're having some problems and we need to figure out how to fix these things. Okay. So this particular school right here, which is Breckenridge Middle School. Okay. You said behaviors that impede academic progress, 5. Behaviors related to school operations, 155. Relationship behaviors without physical harm, 160. Behaviors of safety concern, 160. Okay. We go down here to this right here. Now I need you to look at these numbers, Eugene. In school suspension. Now, 2024 to 2025, 340 out of school suspensions, 327. Dude, this is a middle school. And just to let you know, bus suspensions, 35. Referral to law enforcement, 6. And dude, this is a middle school that's doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
And there is a middle school, which I will not name, that is performing worse than that. It's performing worse than that. It has more incidences than that. So you came on here, you said you wanted to talk about mentorship.
Yep.
How important is mentorship? Okay. And how important is it? And how important is it for the city schools to get that right? Because obviously they don't have it right. Obviously something's missing. Obviously something's missing.
Just like a lot of things, right? You got
What's up, Danny?
We got a smaller city, right? You have sometimes small city mentality, right? And it's okay. And it's okay, right? It's a real thing, but I'm not gonna elaborate on that right now.
Okay.
It's not enough. I'm not saying what's happening is not working, not because of qualifications who's doing it right now, right? It's not enough. It don't have to stop with one, right? You need to have tons of mentors at the school, right? And will it solve all the problems? No. Now, I could be wrong. You might could tell me right now that Breckenridge got 20 mentors in the school right now. People say, well, how do we pay them? We didn't ask somebody to pay anybody right now, right? Some people will volunteer because they might be concerned parents like you are. But they might be great at mentoring people, right? Is it okay to put that out to people? Say, hey, man, listen, our school is suffering. We're going to do everything we can to put the school in the best position possible to also put your kid in the best position possible. Here's what we need. Now, if the parents care and the school care, that meeting should be packed.
Absolutely.
So I adopted a classroom every year when the children's mom was a teacher, 17 years. And I always gauge this, right? And I'm not gonna put a color on it because it's all colors, right? It's all colors. It's school spirit. When we had pumpkin carving night, we ran out of pumpkins, we ran out of utensils, we ran out of space. When they had reading night, it was all the space available. When they had town hall meeting in the school to see what we could do to be more proficient in school, it was lacking. When we had a PTA meeting, it was lacking. So I became the PTA president at the school, right? The first male to do it.
Okay.
Right? I'm not, because I wanted to make sure that we can get ramped up income to that school to put the money in place where we need so these kids can have a better chance of winning, right?
Okay.
These things don't cost money. Some of it do, Kevin. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you it don't, but some of that don't cost money. What Anthony's saying about the social, listen, we are the proud of money for resources for sure. This part right here, I'm not talking about the money part. Now, can you pay a mentor company to come in, pay them? Absolutely. You probably get more from them. Yes. But right now, to stabilize it, like you said, to move the needle forward, we need to get started. We need to you need to have a solid plan to get started and have everybody be on the same mission. What's the problem? What's the problem? How do we fix it? How do we move forward? Who do we need? What do we need to do? How long is it going to take? A real strategized problem so we can scale it. So we can go by KPI reports. We go off a matrix, right? Okay, here. Okay, we're going in the right direction. So yes, our scores are 27. But look, man, we're going in the right direction now. So mentorship in the school, I think it's going to be super important.
Okay. Jason Cole said, too many of us, our generation, haven't matured enough to show and lead these kids by example. We got 45-year-olds that want to be rappers, 50-year-old women that know sexy red songs by heart. We 45 beefing online. We're asking these kids to be something too many of us haven't shown them to be.
Mentorship.
Facts. Definitely facts. And so mentorships, you were speaking about some things that you saw when it came to travel sports football, and you said, it's important to have positive representation as coaches in youth football. Can you speak on that a little bit more?
Yeah, man, and rightfully so. Jason, first of all, shout out to Jason Cole, right?
Shout out to Jay.
I'm gonna speak from right now, right? So a lot of people don't know I'm a high school football coach now, right? We went to the third round of the playoffs this year, right? 19 guys on one football team. 19. We look across the field, 70, 80 people over there. Every game. Let me tell you this, and I'm gonna circle back around and tell you why it's important, okay? And this, when I get off of here, I want everybody who listens now, I want you to go Google what I'm gonna tell you. Because sometimes people just talk, I want you to Google this. We play a team, which is at the time the number 2 team in the state of South Carolina. Right? I was almost refraining about saying the school name, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. The school is called BHP. Okay? Belton Honey Path. They probably got 8 D1 players, and they probably got the best player in the state of South Carolina. He's a 5'8" receiver, all D1 offers. He's a stud. And it's a 10-1 track guy, like Chrissy's sons. At the end of the game, they beat us by 40 points, 46 points. Right? They beat us bad. Right?
Okay.
We walking towards midfield, and the coach tell my head coach, we're not going to shake your hands after the game. So instead of shaking your hands, he went and got the sheriffs. So now the sheriffs is separate the 2 teams from shaking hands.
Okay. Terrible.
Look, we're a Christian school, first of all.
Yeah, terrible.
Not saying it's the best, like it's no problems there, but we're a true Christian school, right? My head coach is a true Christian. He don't do no curse. His only rule about coaching for him, the main rule, you don't curse around his kids.
Okay, I got you.
Around the school or nothing. That's the standard. That's his baseline. He's standing on that. So I looked at the head coach, and he looked at me. He said, "Hey, Coach Eugene, don't do it." I said, "I have no choice. I have to. I have to do this because this is my wheelhouse, not yours. It's mine. You coach. Now I'm telling him it's my head coach. I said, I got to do it. I said, sir, you won't let your boys shake our hands? Why? Do you understand this staff has 13 coaches? 4 of these guys are in the Hall of Fame in their respective colleges. 6 of these guys are massive business owners. They're all Christian. They all successful.
Yeah.
You got a guy who got the best 7-on-7 team in the state. You know who he is because that guy plays for him. You got all these people. And I told him this. And yes, the coach is a different color than the players. I'm going to say that, okay? I told him, you won the game, but you're not helping them win the real game. Because you are supporting the propaganda that young African-American men worry about competition and competing instead of networking and collaborating. And this is how they network and collaborate. You're taking that access for them right now because you don't care about what happens after this game. When y'all season is over, theirs going to start. You can't be a young African-American male in Anderson County, South Carolina, which is one of the worst counties in South Carolina. You can't be them young men out there. You can't do that because you're not them, right? In order to support that, you need to get all the help you can get, all the mentorship you can get. So I told him it's in the middle of the football field. Do you know about 25 of his players came, hey man, no, we shaking hands, man. Hey coach, Hey man, can we shake your hand, man? I said, man, of course you can, man. Of course y'all can. Because it's bigger than this. Football is the biggest, excuse me, that's not fast other sports. Football is a huge unity sport that teaches you so much besides the game of football. How to work as a team, how to overcome objections, how to go through adversity. But it teaches you how to collaborate and win, right?
Mhm.
So why don't you win on a bigger scale and let your kids meet other people, successful adults besides yourself?
Mhm.
We're not in competition to see what child, like who's the most.
Mhm.
We in a competition to see who can help that child the most. Because if we all challenge ourselves that way, the kids will get the most education out of it. They'll get the most mentorship out of it. They'll
Right.
get the most guidance out of it. Because we try to compete about who can give the most, who can support the most. Guess what? If me, you, 13 other guys start doing the same thing, 14, 20 guys, oh man, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. Listen to me. Then we gotta learn to collaborate. We gotta have one mission. You got a specialty, Kevin. I don't have.
Mhm.
I got something you don't have. Anthony Smith got something we both don't have. Jason Cole might have something we don't have. Derek Rubin got something we don't have. Warren Hankins, Marvin Fields. A lot of people that's doing work right now got different skills. So why don't we have an opportunity to utilize it? Right?
Right.
And that's
Right.
only one part, but it's a huge part. So I think mentorship is one of the biggest parts of growth that you ever can have.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
believe.
All right. See that Rodney Dickinson. What's going on? What's
Dickinson,
going on,
what's going on?
Coach? Coach. He said the schools are not designed to solve all the city's social problems. Very true. Parents have to take a large role in their children's education, and we have children raising children. Unfortunately, that is a big truth. Going back to what Anthony Smith was saying earlier in this right here, and for the people who have joined, what we're talking about is we're talking about two things. We're talking about mentorship and the importance of mentorships, and we're also talking about schools failing test scores, not just specifically for Roanoke City, but also nationwide. They're falling nationwide, but we're going to talk a little bit more about Roanoke City because that's where we're at. But yeah, we're talking about all these issues that we're having. I'm going to show you another set of data right here. This right here, and I'm going to let you guess what school this is right here. It says behaviors that impede academic progress, 67. Behaviors related to school operations, 782. Relationship behaviors without physical harm, 327. Behaviors of safety concern, 259. Behaviors that endanger the health, safety, or welfare of self or others, 80. All right, so we're going to go to the next category here, in-school suspensions, 365. Out of school suspension, Jesus Christ, 2023, 2024, 814, 672 this year. Referred to law enforcement, 25. Bus suspension, 40. What school do you think this is in Roanoke City? What school do you think it is in Roanoke City?
Northside. I don't know.
Patrick Henry. That's Patrick Henry. That's Patrick Henry, bro. So when you're looking at those problems, I mean, and like I said, going back to what Anthony Smith said, Anthony Smith made a great point. He said that we are going through insane socioeconomic obstacles here in Roanoke. The opportunities just are not there. They are not there. The job market is god awful. And the business opportunities, to me, it looks like the Latinos are making a way, but blacks aren't. I read on this, I use AI. Google Gemini is my friend. I asked AI, I said, how many Latino restaurants do we have in Roanoke? Mexican restaurants do we have in Roanoke? 30. Okay. How many vape shops do we have in Roanoke? 25 to 30. How many soul food restaurants do we have in Roanoke? 4. Now, mind you, we have a black population in Roanoke, 28,000. They so-called have a Latino population of less than 10,000. Yet they have 30 restaurants. You see what I'm saying? So, and like I said, I gotta get with what Anthony Smith said about the socioeconomic issues in Roanoke, Virginia. We were talking about this whole casino thing, and people saying, "Well, we need this casino. We need it to." And we do, because you're talking about 1,200 jobs. We're talking about 1,200 jobs paying over $50K a year. And we're talking about
opportunities that come with that, because not only are they going to bring those jobs, they're going to give us 66% of $100 million of the first $100 million. So you get that. That's going to pay for the Roanoke Civic Center, and then also the opportunities to come with how much the casino would put back into the city. You know,
Correct.
so we're all, whoever wants to see Roanoke grow, we're all for that. We're all for that. However, you have so many people in Roanoke that are against it and don't realize that we're in a hell of a situation right now. A hell of a, especially black people in Roanoke are in a hell of a situation right now, because like I said, the opportunities just are not there. They're not there, and that's a problem, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna read off some of these things that people say right here. So what's going on, Mike McGeorge? He said, what's good, fellas? Jason Wright, and he said Kevin Fleming is known as the bad school and PH is the golden school. Well, words talk, numbers scream, baby. so there you go. I mean, the numbers don't lie. So it is what it is. And this is not picking on Patrick Henry High School. That's the first school that came up when I brought it up. But Patrick Henry High School obviously has some behavior issues there as well. You got Danny Smith. She said, knowing Sexy Red, Megan, or Cardi B by heart has nothing to do with you as how you parent. I rap those songs with my 21-year-old daughter all the time, and yet both of my kids are successful. Both my kids respect and honor their parents. One of the keys to having successful children is ensure that they are well-rounded. What I noticed while teaching in Charlotte was the kids didn't go outside. They didn't participate in team activities. We allow online to be their life, which is definitely true. How much do you think online or social media is affecting these numbers, Eugene?
Well, hey, Kevin, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Go ahead.
I'm about to get in trouble.
All right.
Who made the comment?
That was Ashley. That's Danny, the one that you did the last podcast with.
Listen to me. Brilliant woman.
Definitely.
But I will tell you this. I use the same words, but I'll just use it different.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be affecting somebody's parenting? Yes. Is it affecting her parenting? No.
No.
The second part was about going outside and activities. Could that affect parenting? Yes. It might not affect mine. Take everything that you think could be a problem, put it into a bucket, and let's solve the problems. There is, if Jason thought it was a problem, listen, is it a big problem? Who knows? But let's address what we need to address to fix it. If we keep talking about what problem is there is problems that supersedes other problems, obviously. But these kids are being taught by the same people we talk about at home. So if I'm a parent and I say I got a BMI degree, right? And BMI degree means I barely made it, right?
Right.
That's why I joke with my kids. I told them that's why I got in high school. I barely made it, right? But if I never learn how to solve problems, if I never learn how to coping skills, if I never learn how to problem solve, if I never learn how to do these basic skills that I believe Marvin Fields and him teach in Field of Dreams, right? They're basic skills, right? If you don't teach it, how did they learn? How did the parent ever learn? It's a vicious cycle. You're expecting them parents to do miraculous things, and they're not equipped to do it. Now, does that make it right? Hell no. Those parents have to be resourceful. How can I go out and find somebody to help me with these basic skills so I can learn and learn how to teach it to my kids? That's what we need to learn how to do. But somehow, some way, we always get caught up when it stops. We love chopping trees. No, that's not it. I know the answer. No, that's not it. No. Listen to me. Everybody see a problem. We talked about this the other day, right? It's so easy to see a problem. Everybody can do it. We're not there. You have a problem on that screen. That screams to me a lot of problems. Well, how do you fix a lot of problems? With a lot of people, with a lot of help, a lot of resources, a lot of love, a lot of energy, a lot of troops. It has to happen. You have to have stern people. You have to have people who can cover all the edges, man. People need to be loved on. People need to be taught stern. People need to have mentors. People need to have big brothers and big sisters. These programs all need to coexist with each other to solve a bigger problem that we have in Roanoke. And it's definitely possible, but some of us got to change our mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
We got to learn that it's a bigger purpose than our egos. That is a solving thing. So I believe that we can do it. That's the route I would go. We definitely can do it, but we got like Sheriff. What does Sheriff have slogan? We do it better together.
Yeah, definitely do it better together.
Right,
you know, definitely. Oh, I got you. So Anthony Smith, if you're still on this, feed watching this right here, I want to ask you this question, and possibly if you're on here, please do answer the question. How do you suggest we fix these socioeconomic issues that we have in Roanoke City School, in Roanoke City, not Roanoke City schools, but how do you suggest we do that? Eugene, because you're a successful businessman yourself, what are some of the suggestions that you would give the leaders of Roanoke City to fix these socioeconomic issues amongst Black people in this city?
Anthony said it, man. I mean, the first thing we got to do is get off our ass and go to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have to understand what the process look like. Our kids watch us, man. They watch everything we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the effort of some kids are very low because the effort from their parents are low.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the truth. Like, listen, you can cut it how you want to cut it, man. I'm around kids Kevin, I'm around kids all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I am. When I see parents who's trying to think about things, how to do something, put stuff in place. Let me get you help here. Let me get you help here. Let me get you this test to make sure it's not here. Let me dial in the problem. Let me dial. Okay, this is what the problem is. Okay, that's affecting everything else. Perfect. How do we fix that? Right? Mm-hmm. We go to debt specialists, and now it's fixed, and now the kid can progress and go forward. We have other problems, sure. Down the line, of course he will. Right? It's the only thing guaranteed is you have more problems. But the effort was there to fix it. Mm-hmm. So you got to have the effort first, man. It starts with effort, man. And then you got to have a vision and execution and then collaboration. These things have to all play a role in the success of a problem. Mm-hmm. But if you find people who the first thing they say is, no, that's not right. Somebody go listen to this right now and say, no, that's not it. Here's what the answer is. Take your answer, put it with my answer, put it with your answer, put it in here, and let's put it together and see what comes out of it. But people are so afraid to collaborate because you don't need to be the star of the show. You don't need to be the star of the show. Nobody can be the star. Just bring your role and be a star in your role and fix the problem.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And also, I'll tell you, man, like, let me tell you something. And I know, again, some of our churches can help out.
Definitely.
With churches with programs, outreach. We can go to ministers. We can go into neighborhoods. We can go do outreach ministry. We know it's a problem. If we're going to go save our youth, let's go get them. They're not going to come to us. That's a known thing. They're not going to come to us. You can have resources, man. Listen, I see Derek Rubin right here every weekend.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Derek Rubin.
No doubt. They not coming to him.
He going to them.
He got to go find them.
Yeah.
He got to go find the people who really need help. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense for him to have to do that. No. If you think about it, it's asinine. Why would I have to go find the person who needs the problem to help him fix it? Because that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to get initiated. They don't know. They don't automatically think what we think in the morning time. I'm not saying I'm better than somebody else, but I think self-ignition when I first start in the morning, right? Some people don't have that. Mm-hmm. And it's okay. You don't have to have it. Everybody don't have it. That's just the truth of the matter. But we could have so many outreach teams, link arms, man. Like, it's so many things we can do, but we got to do it in masses.
Let me ask you this, and I'm hearing everything that you're saying. I know everybody else is hearing everything that you're saying as well. So we're talking about building at this point. We're talking about joining forces in building. Stop being so cliquish and build together. So I understand exactly what you're saying. Is it possible to fix the problems that we are having in this city without fixing the poverty issue? Okay.
That's what I'm asking. And the reason why I'm asking that is because a lot of people don't know a lot of statistics about Roanoke. I love to study this stuff. So the poverty rate in Roanoke is 19%, over 19%. The national poverty rate is 10%. So the poverty rate in Roanoke is almost double that of the national rate, which is insane, right?
It's 1/5.
Bro, it's
1/5 of the population.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to share another statistic here with the people. This right here shows a graph, and this is the same report that we all got as parents in that email that they sent out. It says 2023,
No,
2024.
stop for a second, Kevin.
Go ahead.
You just prefaced that, right?
Okay, yeah.
Why? Because you know some parents didn't read it.
I know a lot of parents didn't read it. That's why I'm bringing it up.
But the information was given, right?
Right, the information was given. Absolutely.
So why do you have to go back and do it now?
Absolutely.
This is what I'm
Absolutely.
talking
But
about.
like I said, 2023, 2024 per pupil spending in Roanoke, Virginia, the division, $16,364 per pupil is being spent. Statewide, it's at $15,286. So we're outspending the state per pupil. So the money is being pushed to the school system. We know that we're pushing money to the school system. However, we're not getting the results that we want to get. So my question once again to you is, are we able to fix this issue with the terrible scores that we're seeing without fixing the poverty issue or the socioeconomic issue that Anthony Smith mentioned earlier in this podcast?
No.
No.
And unfortunately, just like everything else we've done in our community, we got to be extraordinary for somebody to step and say, you know what, man? The only thing left is us.
Mm-hmm.
We got to fix ourselves first. And then we got to then say, hey, guys, we fixed this. Look at the growth we have done here. Look at here. Look at how the infrastructure here. Now I need your help.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can put it on the table, because when you got a person up top, they can always give you 5 or 6 things, and it's hard to close somebody on 6 things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you limit to 5, say, hey, now you say when numbers talking, they scream. Now it's gonna look this big. Hey, where's the problem? It's right there, right? Now you got to fix that, because this we already fixed it. We got a task force ourselves to fix this, and this. Now it's a money thing and resources wise. How do we move forward? We can't move forward without this, right? And we can't move forward when people are thinking before they come to school, man, about, like you said, man, about eating. And like that's basic. That's basic things that people don't normally think about, because you think it's going to automatically be there. So no, I don't think it's possible to fix it without that being addressed. No.
Yeah, I mean, to let you know the numbers on that. 75% of Roanoke City Public School students are economically disadvantaged. They're coming from economically disadvantaged families.
Yeah.
So it's a huge problem. The poverty issue is a huge problem, and I have to ask myself, and I have to ask other people. Is this something that the highest leadership in Roanoke is just not getting right, pulling different employees into the city of Roanoke? Because let's just be honest, we lost the office of Norfolk Southern, we lost the offices of Advance Auto, we lost GE, we lost a whole bunch of manufacturing plants around here, we lost a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you go out through Southeast, you'll see some of those manufacturing plants that have not been reopened. They've been barren for 50 60 years probably. So the thing is that we just do not have in the city of Roanoke right now any economic opportunities for a lot of people in the city of Roanoke, and that's a huge problem. That's definitely where do we start in getting a hold of this socioeconomic issue that we are having in the city? Where do we start to fix that?
Create our own jobs, create our own income. It takes you to put your ego to the side and have a through line for execution over top of ego. Who's doing it now? How can I learn from them? What can I learn? What skill do I have? What problem do I recognize? That's how businesses are built. I see a problem. I got a skill to fix it. I'm gonna improve that gap. I'm gonna make money off of it. I'm gonna be profitable. So then you create more jobs. If you start one and your business to have 4 employees next year, and I started one. There's 8 people that we can employ right now, right?
Mm.
And that's the thing about when people think about some Hispanics, not all, but some Hispanics, it's the work you don't want to do. You don't want to lay mulch every day.
No.
You don't want to have your back bent every day on the curb and doing something with water lines. You don't want to do that, right? You don't want to take that 16 hours job, 17, but you'd rather make nothing, right? Some people rather make nothing than work hard, right? But working hard builds character, right?
Mm.
And it's also like paid training. You go work for a year for somebody that pays $70 an hour. You learn everything you can learn: excavation, land surveying. Learn everything you need to learn. Start a small business behind it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But that's what they do. First of all, they collaborate with each other. Some of them live in one house.
Definitely. I see it
They
all
live
the
in one
time.
house.
It's
And guess
impressive to
what?
see. Yeah.
They go party together at home. They talk at home. They build business at home. They go back in the morning. And guess what? Everybody in the house going to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? It's your time to move out. And you start another, what's called, and you have more people come with you. And I watch Asian people do it. Go to the restaurants out there by Crossroads Mall. When I used to live in Roanoke, 28 years ago. The white vans, they pick all the employees up to go to the same place when they go home.
Yep.
They build like that. They don't compete all the time with each other. Because when you compete with me, it's going to be one winner. But when we collaborate, we can create multiple winners. We are not built to understand that right now. It's always, I think I know more, I'm more important, I got this skill, you don't. Who cares? If I took your power, Kevin, if I took your power, Anthony Smith's power, Jason Cole's power, put it together, and put leadership involved, create a hierarchy. You can build $1 million business tomorrow. But beyond that, you can create 12 to 25 to 30 jobs. People say, well, how you know? I've done it.
Yeah, you have.
So I've done it. So I'm not telling you something, I'm guessing. It works. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. That's old, man. Stop. That's garbage. It works. You need to start. And I'm not in the business of you start a business and not have a plan and don't have a vision. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not easy. First of all, it's not for the faint of heart, right?
Definitely.
It's going to test your man. It's going to test your manhood, your womanhood. You're going to test the fortitude, your drive, how much you really want it. It's going to test your education, resource. You're the person. There is no person tomorrow say, okay, when I wake up in the morning, Kevin, I can't go out and say, hey man, somebody need to. No, I am somebody. You need to go fix it. Now, when I do that, Kevin, and when you come on board, I can teach you from conception to execution. Hey, Kevin, here's my standards. Here's my baseline. Here's what I accept and what I won't accept. Here's what I expect from you. I'm expecting you to win and dominate. If you're not in that field, I don't want you working with me. Because my company needs to be dominant. And then you create, guess what happened, Kevin? When you go home, you might have had that dominant attitude last week because you didn't think it's possible. But if you got 4 boys at home, they just got a powerful, dominant father coming home every day. You think your life will change? You think their life will change? You think the trajectory will change? Of course it will. It's a big cycle, man. You just watch Anthony do it, right? Anthony been doing it for a long time, right? He supplied people with jobs. He supplied people with income around the city. He's bids and being on boards and making decisions. Those are decision makers. You don't realize he's making decisions for you. So wouldn't you want to go to him knowing he bumped elbows with the people that you work for?
Right.
But you got access to him. I seen him do a program, and I seen Derek program. And I keep mentioning these names, guys, because there's more people, obviously, man, that's doing these things. And Robin Mitchell, it's Xavier. It's more people doing things like this, But let me tell you, man, you gotta want it. You gotta simply want to do better, House. That's what it is. Do you want to? Because I ask my guys in the morning when we lifting weights, and shout out to Coach Dickinson. Coach Dickinson used to ride our ass all the time.
All day.
Straight up, man. In 2 days, we busting chops from the beginning to the end, man. And I got a lot of my work ethic from them guys. But again, they were more than coaches. They were mentors. Him, Coach Lovelace, Coach Smith, Coach Miller, Coach Stewart, Coach Hale, Coach Golden, Coach Dupree. Coach Dupree's a big one, right? But you learn that mentorship that work. I tell my guys in the morning, simple. If you can do more, then do more. Because you can get more from it.
Absolutely.
Don't do the bare minimum. Don't be afraid to get exhausted. Don't be afraid to be great. They come with a lot of responsibilities. And I'm telling you guys, I will put my name on the hat. I do a class every day from 8:15 to 9:15. You know how much I charge people, man?
Go ahead.
0. And people want to pull my card. I got 7 guys in this class that's making a ball 52,000. Ain't a single one of them over 24. But you know what though? They're strangers to me. They listen. They get the results because they believe me.
I got
somebody, you know what I'm saying? And just listen.
Do you feel like what you're talking about is you're talking about building businesses, being an entrepreneur, and creating your own jobs? Do you think that's more important in the situation that we're in Roanoke? Do you think that's more important than starting up a nonprofit and just basically putting a Band-Aid on the problem? Because we have to admit at this point, because of the socioeconomic issues that we are having in the city, that when it comes to, and I'm not coming down on, you know, nonprofits or anything like that who feel like they need to go out here and help in the city a certain way. Don't think that I'm saying that. What I'm saying is that stuff is basically putting a Band-Aid on a much more significant issue. Should we be more gung-ho about going after unifying and building together and building our own opportunities together? Like Anthony Smith said, get off your ass and start working. Basically, is that more important than the nonprofit organizations? I know they have their place, but what I'm saying is that if you were to put them in numeric position, would you have making your economic opportunities before your nonprofit?
I think one feeds to the other. I think they both equals important. And what we might consider a Band-Aid might be somebody's savior date, or might be somebody's day of change. That's work that always need to be done, because you're going to have that percentage of people who need an extra pill of strength all the time. And you also need the people that is looking to be entrepreneur minded to collaborate with people now who's doing businesses. And I think that's equally as important as well. And so I think they kind of tie together. Your nonprofit, just like the schools right now. You think about the 2 schools, right? And I always look at this when I look, of course I went to Fleming, you went to Fleming. Our electives, right? Our hands-on electives. Let's just talk about that for a second. You got shop class. I'm old now, so you had shop class. You had, I'm pretty sure they got auto mechanic there right now. And it's hands-on things. And they are actually teaching you to be a great employee. They're teaching you skills they teach you a skill to earn a trade. Well, when I got involved with the school system in Virginia Beach, and the closer you get to the ocean, it's more money there. They also had those classes, but they put a spin on it. The class is called life. So they teach you how to be an entrepreneur. They teach you how to read books. They teach you how to do quick books, how to do employee taxes. They teach you how to employ leadership. I don't know if our schools are learning the ability to lead. Leadership does not come to everyone. It just don't, man. But everybody can be in the rim in the line of leadership, right? But is it being taught? Are we being taught to be an employer or an employee? Right.
Right.
I think that's super important. because some of us had to go learn it on our own.
Mhm.
Simply by and listen, you know how many bruises I got on my head, man, on my face from learning how to do things, some things on my own and trying to trials and just figure it out, man. And but I
Mhm.
wanted to. Like I wanted to. So for me, to be able to go back and you have a team like Scott Terry's and Anthony Smith's and um, people who started businesses, Marvin Fields. It's, these guys can not teach you what they do for a living, but it's the entrepreneur side of it, as far as the leadership of it. How do I structure the business? Where do I start at? How do I get an EIN number? Let's start with the basics. You can, and if you have time, people can get together. We go to Zoom just like this or a platform just like this, man, and create a space where we can start doing this step by step. Two things got to happen. Somebody got to be willing to teach it, and somebody be willing to learn, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that can things like that can move the needle. Little programs, and I call those bridge the gap moments, right? You can have those bridge the gap programs in your community that bridge the gap between entrepreneurs, somebody who's not working, somebody who really needs help. But well, how do I get there? Well, next year, when I start teaching, next year you can start teaching. It's like a
Okay.
full circle.
All right. All right. Cool. So we've already established that the socio-economic issue that we're having in Roanoke is a big issue that needs to be handled over time. And we get that there's a whole lot of hard work that needs to be done to get those things done. As of right now, even having those socio-economic issues, what are the most important things that you would say that we should do to make sure that these kids are getting the right mentors and make sure that they're getting the right image of themselves? I know you were speaking of, I know you were speaking of some issues with some things that you saw happen down in Florida. You saw that a football coach had gotten shot down there at a travel ball championship game down there. And you had some things to say. Go ahead and break that down on how you put that to me.
I speak from a national standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens in Florida, I live in South Carolina. I also lived in Virginia Beach. I'm affiliated with Roanoke. So whenever you get a common problem, that means it's a problem,
Okay.
right? It's a structural problem. Are you concerned more about winning or development of a young man?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for you to say winning. Some people think winning develop men. It don't.
Mm-hmm.
Develop men learn how to win.
Mm-hmm.
So our job, if you're around these young men and you got the opportunity and you got the opportunity to be around them, what are you
Mm-hmm.
doing with the opportunity to do it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you developing them grown men? Do you have a mentor program at your program? Do you have a mentor spot at your program? All right. So about 30 minutes of our practice, they do 30 minutes. Now it's a Christian school. They do 30 minutes mentoring, 30 minutes devotion every day.
Okay.
You're talking about a school with the top 2% income earners in South Carolina, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing it, Kevin? Why am I mentoring your child at home and your father? I am not exaggerating. Listen to what I'm going to tell you.
All right, go ahead, break it down.
How am I mentoring your son? You allow me to do it and you love it, and you go home to a 22,000 square foot house.
Mm.
How is your work ethic better than the kid how is it possible?
Mm-hmm.
Because your parents is still giving effort to get you higher than what you are now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be available for somebody to come in and mentor. Listen, everybody doesn't put mentor on top of things. So it's okay if you don't, right? So I use, for example, because the people going to tell me they might not be important. So let's break it down for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Northside High School, I just seen Freddie Bumpsy put on there. He was hired by Northside High School. Mentor life coach. It works. It's needed. It's development. It's putting everybody in position who has a skill so the team can win on, before the game, after school, before school, post-graduation, during school. For a long time, our number said it's filled up in ninth grade, and those same ninth graders would drop off 30% by the time they get to 12th grade. Right? Was that problem ever addressed? We need to go back and look at it. Right? That's why they built smaller schools. Because what they're telling you is those kids who start ninth grade won't make it to 12th grade. They're telling you that by doing that. I remember one time we had 780 ninth graders. No annexes was built, no nothing. Because the studies showed that they won't make it to the 12th grade. When you're good in sports or you play in sports, and I say this, I'm going to say this again. And if you look at my story on there on Facebook, I posted Coach Miller. And I put a broken heart. And the song I had playing was The GOAT. He was the best coach I ever had in my life. But he was the best mentor that ever breathed.
Amen to
He
that.
led by example. He was real stern. He didn't take your way. He used his way. He didn't change his way because of your feelings. He got the best results. So don't tell me it don't work, because I know it does. When me and Derek Rubin, we talked the other day, and everybody who listened to this who played football, and if you didn't, he took everybody in the hallways anyway. He knew your parents, my parents. It was generational for him. It was like a one-man band. The only thing I can tell you is he didn't have something where he can pass it on to people and tell them, hey, how are you doing this, or what are you doing? He used his charisma, he used his personality, he used his strength, he used everything he had to make a difference. And he made, and listen, sometimes I still get angry because I don't have a chance to talk to him. But do we have that now? Those coaches do we have? But when you was good in school or you played sports, guess what happened? You got an opportunity to have 10 mentors in your life. That the guy who don't play sports don't have it.
That's true.
You won't rub elbows with Coach Travis Allen, who owned his own lawn care business for 30 years. You don't know what it is to see him come off his own tractor, his own Z-Turner 30 years ago. Shoes dirty, but he gives us our time, his time to us for a stipend or probably nothing. But you didn't see that.
Well, what do you see now? What do you see now in coaches?
Listen, I see an incomplete staff. I say that. I'm not going to jump on the fact that the type of coach has changed.
Okay.
I want you to listen to me. First of all, if you got a poverty problem, then you need to bring back stuff that's cost minimum to no money. You need to open it back up to more kids. The city programs need to be on fire right now. If you want to save a child, man, you save a child. If parents can't pay $300, $400, $500, $600 for a travel team, their kids are gonna do nothing. Now I don't know what to do with my child at home. Is it? The people say, well, that's their fault. Is it? Some people don't care about community problems because it won't affect them either way. They don't think it will, but it does. Your kids go to school with them.
Yeah.
Why would you want your son to go to school with another young man who out here playing chicken every day with nothing to lose? Wow.
The saying is, if a village doesn't embrace a boy will come back to burn the village down.
Of course.
So yeah,
and it's true.
So that's how it works.
So I would tell all you sports. I'm not talking about Roanoke, Virginia, right? I don't just talk about Roanoke. I talk about problems because if it's a Roanoke problem, then that means Florida won't have the problem. If I was talking about Roanoke problem, then South Carolina won't have the problem.
Absolutely, this is a nationwide problem. We've seen coaches get shot at tournaments and in games. It's like almost all the time now.
The winning is more important than development. And it's okay. You can listen, I'm gonna talk on both sides. You can stay that way. You need to go be resourceful and add a person to mentor your team. Give them 15, 20 minutes. Let's talk about something different. Your drive is about winning. You need that as a head coach. You need that as a defense coordinator. You need somebody to be like that. That's fine. I'm not saying you're not doing a great job, I'm saying add to your staff. And there's some men who would do it for free. Just go ask them. Don't be afraid to let these men in front of your kids as positive role models, and all they see is you. Sometimes it helps you to be a better man because a man is around you mentoring kids, and you can learn from it. It's a learning environment for everybody, and everybody wins when it happens. Mentorship wins, collaboration wins, networking wins. You're just being intentional about the problem, man, instead of being intentional about attention. Sometimes people are intentional about attention instead of being intentional about the problem that lies in front of us. Our young boys have some issues right now. So football is a great escape for certain people. It's a great way to navigate through life a little faster for certain people. But what about the other 40 guys on the team? You got 4 D1 players. That's phenomenal. The other 40 guys are going to do what? It's development of the guys. I'm not saying, I think the guys are doing a great job of the teams, taking the kids' exposure, going to different tournaments, meeting people, collaborating with D1 athletes that's going to be D1 in 2-3 years. That's all important. Add the level of mentorship. Be different than everybody else. You don't have to cuss at your kids 1,000 times for them to listen. That doesn't bode well for them when they become a young father, because they can do the same thing. Because my biggest mentor in my life, my football coach, this is how he talked to me, and I got better. Well, you only got better because you had no choice. Your resources should go up when you get older. So you do have a choice with your communication. I like the cuss, Kevin. First of all, I love it, right? I used to love it. But when that guy told me his recommendations, his standards was, you don't cuss at this school and around my kids. I went a whole season without saying a cuss word. So it's possible, right?
Definitely.
He mentored me. We're the same age. You think me coming out of business for 20 years, I would tell, hey, man, what you talking about, man? We're the same age. I'm 46 years old, man. I'm a boss. Hey, man, listen. No. I listened to what he was saying because it worked. And the kids need the mentor in the right way. They learn how to talk to each other a little better. When I watch these videos, and I know it's propaganda because social media push certain things they shouldn't push. I get it. So do me a favor. I would challenge people, go make the videos to show me who's mentoring your kids. And then that would show me, is it propaganda or is it real?
Okay.
So that's what I say. And listen, and if you need, we can do it virtually. So again, let's start with Ronald. If Ronald have a slot that mentoring their kids, basketball, football, just whatever, hey man, call me. I do it virtually for you until you find somebody to do it in person. Because I care about your kids, because my nieces and nephews go to school in Ronald. That's
Absolutely.
how much I care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We've been on here for about an hour now. So, man, it's been a heck of a conversation. For the people who came in and chimed in and actually commented, we definitely appreciate you. And definitely keep coming back to the podcast, because we're definitely going to be talking about important topics that I think people can learn from. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be building on here. And like I said, just keep on coming on here and commenting and give us your insight and give us your opinion. Like I said, it's a big, what's that old song that they used to sing? I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain.
On the mountain,
right.
I'm doing
my best to make it in. So we're coming up on the rough side of the mountain, folks. I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard work. It's gonna be a whole lot of hard work, you know. But like I said, we could go ahead and check out. Eugene, you got anything to say before we leave?
I do, man. Sometimes when people make changes, you gotta have. I take every chance I get to recognize somebody, because it's hard to change your life, man. It's hard. It's hard when you do stuff for so long. You know it's not maybe productive. Man, shout out to my little brother, Eric Simon. Guys, go see him. Right now, he's a top salesperson at First Team Nissan on Peters Creek Road. He's super successful right now, guys. He's super excited. And if you embrace change, and love people like you say you do, man, go support them. Even if you don't buy a car, go tell them, man, you're proud of them. Because it's a ripple effect. The more guys that recognize it need to be changed, and they do more to change and change their lives around, for other people can see the change and listen, man, support that. I support that. I support you. You're doing great things. I support that. Shout out to everybody this holiday season who has done God's work, man. I can't name everybody because I'm gonna get in trouble. But I'm gonna put a special shout out to Freddie Bumpsy. I'm gonna give shout out to Derek Rubin and the Dream Team, man. Let me tell you something. Going out here and do that work every day, man, for your kids and for the community kids, and you got to do the same thing for yours. And the effort, it takes a lot, man. So shout out to all you guys, Rita Joyce, all you guys programs, Darlene Lewis, Marvin, Xavier. Keep doing the same thing in the community, man. It only makes the community better. It makes it grow. I know I sound passionate sometimes, but my biggest thing is, guys, I just want to see the needle moved while I'm still living. So that's all I had to say, man. Thank you, man.
All right. And for all those who chimed in, we do appreciate you guys coming in, and we are checking out. Peace.
Peace.